Our last example asks us to find the perpendicular bisector of the points 5,11 and negative 5,3. Well, I can think of these points sort of in their general locations. So 5,11 is going to be somewhere up here. Negative 5,3 is going to be somewhere here. So the perpendicular bisector, well, I'm going to be perpendicular, and bisect means to go through the middle. So I want a line something like that. So I'm going to go through the midpoint, and my slope is going to be perpendicular to the slope between the blue lines. So first of all, my blue line is determined by these 2 points. So let's find the slope of the blue line. So this is problem D. So my slope, I know I'm going to do y minus y, so 11 minus 3 over 5 minus negative 5. So the slope of this line, 11 minus 3 is 8, 5 minus negative 5, well that's like plus, is 10. Now the slope of my perpendicular line, well I know that slope of blue times slope of perpendicular must equal negative 1. So I've got 8 over 10 times the slope of the perpendicular equals negative 1. That means my slope of the perpendicular is negative 1 divided by 8 over 10. So let's do that. Negative 1 divided by my fraction of 8 over 10. And I get negative 5 over 4. Notice that 8 over 10 could have reduced if I divide top and bottom by 2 to 4 over 5. And now our calculator just told us that this reduces to negative 5 over 4. So here's my slope of my perpendicular. Now I know that it needs to go through this midpoint. Well, I'm going to use midpoint formula from my formula booklet. That tells me that I should add my x values and divide by 2. So 5 plus negative 5 divide by 2, and then I'm going to add my y values, 11 plus 3, and divide by 2. So 0 divide by 2 is of course 0. 11 plus 3, that's 14. Divide by 2 is 7. So now I can see that my sketch was not so appropriate because actually my midpoint is on my y-axis. And boy, that's handy because now I know the formula for this line. If I think about that in y equals mx plus c form, I know my c value is 7. So this tells me that my c value is 7. I know my slope is negative 5/4. So my line that's perpendicular, the perpendicular bisector, negative 5/4 times x plus 7. So I've got y equals mx plus c, and I could use this c straight away because this point is the y-intercept. If this point had not been the y-intercept, then I would have gone back to something I'd done before, either used point slope method or slope intercept, and continued to solve.